big old house right over there.
Yeah.
And that's where my daddy was born, where my grandfather Frank Jackson died, and my grandmother too.
Uh-huh.
And a fellow named Troy Peeler had a big white house stood up here, and I told Pat I just fully intended to contact him about buying this place. It's for sentimental reasons.
Uh-huh.
And darn if he didn't die and sold it to some timber company.
Huh.
A timber company, Ray Carter sold the timber off to us.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But anyhow, there was a rock bluff around there that my daddy as a kid, that they used to go and play in that. There was a cave up in there. If Gil comes, sometimes got any more time, he's coming, we'll just come around there.
Yeah, he's wanting to do this same thing.
Well, I've been up there through it.
Uh-huh.
Out there.
So they...
But the house stood right there.
Now this is where Paul Bird and Maud started housekeeping?
See, there's some old furniture up there right there. I think the house probably stood about out there by where that furniture is. I've been in the house. As a matter of fact, Gib, people named Hopkins lived here a few years ago. And he came down here one weekend, and I showed a spinning wheel that really belongs to Gilbert. I don't know if I ever be sold in it, but anyhow, I've had it all these years. And but he got members in the smokehouse out there. I'll show you the old spinning wheel. That's where it was.
Now, what year would they have gotten married? I've got it on paper.
My daddy was born 1898, and his mother died when he was 6 years old, up in 1904. And they were living here, and some of those kids are on them was already born. It would have been the late 1890s.
Yeah. So about 18, a little over 100 years ago when they...
At least 100 years ago. But they lived right there, and Aunt Minnie said they lived across Shelby Creek back over there somewhere, and she
Now, there's some part of a building over there.
Well, I don't know. Well, what do you think now? It's 5 minutes to 12. Do you want to run up to Hopkins Graveyard? Do you want to say, just go back and look at the finger place a little? And if you need to go to Ripley, well, we don't have to be back up there at 2 though, do we? Well, do you want to run up to Hopkins Graveyard?
How far is it from here?
Well, back up yonder. Well, just right outside where it's about a mile or two up there. It was a pretty good road. I went up there last fall with Lee Harrell. Man.
Okay, I'd like to go.
Well, let's go.
Okay.
Well, let's just take this.
All right.
Can you tell what it is?
Well, I thought he's supposed to have a new one.
Well, he may have, but one time he had one that says Uncle
Is that at Childers? It says Childers right there.
It's Childers.
That's a W's.
This is OB Childers.
Well, that's Uncle O.
Well, I thought he had a new marker.
No, I don't think so. They've got it on there somewhere.
Yeah, he died in '57. That's it.
Well, when you do all your camera.
Who was now Amanda? There wasn't Amanda Childers in that thing I was reading about.
I really don't know, Tracy. Well, on there somewhere does it say Uncle O?
Yeah, right at the top.
Right by your thumb.
Oh, yeah.
Right there. You're on it.
Yeah, Uncle O. That's it right there.
Well, I had heard that he had a new marker.
The WW.
That is, that's Paul Bird's daddy.
Is that right?
Yeah, well, that's William Wallace. That's the one that Leslie's named after. Yeah. If that's the one.
Yeah. Well,
he died in 1910 at looks like 65.
There are a bunch of Hopkins in
yeah,
here.
this goes by Hopkins Cemetery.
There's a big Childers over there.
There's another Childers down there. A bunch of these are Childers.
Now, Tracy, we've got historical documents at the library. I have copies of them.
Okay.
That has the listing of every person in the cemetery. It even has the we've got the location of where the cemeteries are. is it?
Eva, Irene, and Lonnie Burton.
He just died in 71.
Irene in 75.
Lonnie Burton. I don't know who that is.
Well, now there was some new graves going to back this last fall. You better be careful, Tracy. You're liable to get skinned up here.
As long as I don't see a snake, I'm fine.
That was a baby.
Uh-huh.
Until I see a snake, then I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Well, I sure was on the impression that Uncle Obe had a new marker.
Well, I didn't know, but I knew we saw it last fall. I know that Gilby has been up here. I don't know. Of course, he hadn't been here in about a couple of years to the reunion. I just don't believe I'll walk.
Now, WC, what's this right here?
Well, it looked like that they was going to stamp that and they had the thing upside down.
You reckon that's what they did?
Yeah. If you turn it over, I bet you could read.
You got a WC, here's a Confederate right here.
Yeah. What's his name?
Frank Robinson, R-O-B-E-R-S-O-N, Company
I went
C.
to Vicksburg and went out to the National Cemetery headquarters. They just didn't have a record of him being buried there. And Bart said Jack was still living. And I said, you know what, I think our grandpa probably just cut out on grandma and never did come back. But anyhow.
What'd she say about that?
Oh, she hardly agreed with that. She thought well of Jack. But anyhow, that's his unmarked grave.
You know, see, that's kind of sad, isn't it, right there?
Yeah. Don't anybody know who they are.
And there's one right there.
There's nobody that know who they are. And it may be kind of a trail up to it where the house actually was. I don't know.
Now, what's this place here? This is
where Leslie was raised.
okay.
I know he lived here in 1926 and lived here till he went off to the service. And I guess he lived here all his life. Might have been born here.
Now they left the other place and moved here. Okay.
They did. I don't know. Uncle Bert and them now. Earl and Hester and Helen, I probably was born down there. But I don't know where Leroy and Les. They might have been born here.
They were right next to each other. It was Daddy and then Leslie.
And then, because we lived back out over there about a half mile. In 1926, that year Aunt Ma died. And Les wasn't over a couple of years older than me. And then the still crawling on the front porch.
Uh-huh.
So I really don't know if Leslie was born. Now they lived in a place they called Kid's Store place back out over there.
Yeah.
And Daddy showed me where that was, but there's no house sign over there.
Well, who would have been living in 43 in the house over there by the pond next to the Finger School? Would have been some Bennett's living over there?
There's a school right there.
Yeah, well, it was right across the road from the school.
I don't know.
That's where I was born, and I think that's probably where my grandmother lived.
Yeah, well, it might have been.
Because I was born at home.
Now I went to service, let's see. I graduated from high school in 1940 and 41. I was in a CC camp out in California. And in 42, I went to the Navy in September. I did make a crop up there. My daddy and them, I had about 8 acres, made 8 bales of cotton, and they had enough, bought me a $1,000 war bond. Boy, I thought I'd put them on the top of the world for the money market. You know. But anyhow, then I went to the Navy in 42, September, and I stayed in, got out of the Navy in 46, and stayed up in Louisville, Kentucky until 51. So I was gone from here 8 or 10 years. I was gone in 43. I don't know who they were. I hope we can find some evidence of civilization.
Had an interesting story about my being born over there. I'd always heard that Dr. Tate, you remember John Tate?
Yeah, yeah.
That delivered me? About a year before Daddy died, he said, well, that's not really the way it happened. Dr. Tate had a pretty good reputation of hitting the bottle.
Yeah.
And he said, really, Florbell Coombs is the one who delivered you, and Florbell was his nurse. What kind of flies are those that are getting after us?
I don't know, but
Those are not bees, are they? They're not.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're
That's-
sack flies.
I had appendicitis. Let's see, I moved back to where I lived around 1951. About 1952, I had a silage pop, and I was back in the wagon with it blowing the silage back. And I kept chewing that sorghum, my stomach got hurt. Well, I thought it was just that, so after a while,
You see how you keep them on?
I went down to old Dr. Tate, and as you said, he was a nipping and sipping a little, and he shaved my stomach, didn't even put in lather, he took a straight razor and shaved. He said, what kind of barber you think I'd be for? I said, I don't know, I was so scared. But anyhow, they just operated on me right then. And I did just fine, soaked me up some old big old fishing cord stuff. And when he cut the thing, I'm gonna take it out, he'd jump it out and it'd be a little drop of blood about half big as a match head. And they'd fill this old big handful of alcohol rubbed on that. Man, that set me apart. But I did fine. He wasn't as good as alcohol. Now right here where the house was,
I think I remember this house.
well, it was a big, white, better than average house. And I was telling Tracy,
Now, this is where Maud would have died, is that
he
correct?
died right here.
Yeah.
Uh,
Now, who were some of the neighbors down on either side of them? You remember?
They had somebody by the name of Gross. They lived right down there, Gross. And they were timber people. They cut timber and had
Yeah.
a sawmill around here. But I don't know anybody else. See, I wasn't at 1956.
Yeah.
But I can vaguely remember Aunt Maud and them two twins, Gillis and Gilbert, sitting on the porch in a thundercloud, and they had a bucket lid or something in that. When that thundercloud, that bucket lid flopped, bounced or something. Oh, worse. But anyhow, after she died, they buried her up at Little Hope. Helen took Gillis, was just an infant, and Hester took Gilbert. And I was telling Tracy they had to fill in for housekeeper, mother, and
They probably wasn't but 13 or 14 years old.
They weren't very old.
Yeah.
But the one thing you say about Uncle Bert, he kept the family together,
Yeah.
which some people don't.
Now, he stayed here till the girls left, I understood.
Yeah.
Until they got married.
Earl was kind of, Uncle Bert was your granddad, but he was like lots of us. He didn't just really press the collar too much.
Yeah.
But he managed the family. But now Earl is the man that made the money.
Yeah.
He run a sawmill and had a lumber truck.
Yeah.
And timber had been good from back then.
Yeah.
Still good.
Yeah.
But anyhow, they made it. And I remember when he and Ruby married. Well, I remember when Hester and Helen and all of them married. But Leonard was still living there, and he never did marry.
Mm-hmm.
But he went off to service from here. Well, Leroy and Les did too.
Yeah. It was.
I guess Uncle Bert lived here till early 40s.
Somebody told me till the girls married, and I said, well, why did he break up housekeeping when the girls married? And they said, well, he didn't have a cook anymore.
Probably right.
And from that time on, he never did remarry. From that time on, he moved around with the various kids.
I hope I don't pick up a snake.
If you do, you'll probably let us know.
Here.
You're on your own.
Well, right here, I tell Tracy, now they had Mr. Finger, Simon Finger owned this place. Uncle Bert just lived here and managed it. But old man Simon Finger made $1 million right over there in a store.
Yeah.
One time he came to school at Walnut to make a little talk. He's really a prosperous old man. And he said, and he stressed education. He knew the benefit of education, so he said, I never did get a PhD. He said, I had a RHD. He said, that's root hog or die. My dad said, yeah, the old so-and-so, I won't repeat exactly what my dad said, the old so-and-so hogged it.
Yeah.
But anyhow, he had $1 million when $1 million would buy something.
Yeah, yeah.
But they moved off to Ripley and I guess died down there. I know he's buried in that cemetery at Ripley. But Uncle Bert lived here for years and years. And finally, Joe Mitch McElwain's daddy, what was his name, bought this place.
Yeah.
He lived, it wasn't Howard McElwain.
No.
It was Joe Mitch's daddy. And
Yeah.
Joe Mitch wound up with it, and he exchanged this land here on this side of the road with the government. This is government land now.
Yeah.
Out of Spring National Forest.
So no way to buy it now, is it?
No, you couldn't. I'm even trying to exchange some land up there, and I'm having a darn response there.
There's that snake you were looking for, I think.
See, I cut the timber off some land back there, and they're mouthing about the not equal value of that on the forest land. But they're going to cut that this year, and I told Bill, and I said, well, I hope they get it cut. Maybe I can exchange with right behind Jim's cabin over.
Yeah.
I'll
Can
find
you
it.
go out there and find an old treasure for me to take home? I'll watch from here. I don't want one of those tires.
You don't want to, well, I might get you a car.
There's a lot of tires up here.
I don't imagine there's any treasure because they probably didn't have any to start with.
Yeah.
But I do have, it's probably the only piece of furniture that Maud had. I've got a dresser that
Really?
she had. I'm not sure how I came by it, but I came by it some way or another. WC, did you know that? I've got a dresser. It's in my house. I refinished it. That belonged to Maud and Paul Burt. Uh-huh. I guess it's the only piece of furniture left. Well, no, somebody said they had a trunk, I think. I've forgotten who. Maybe it was Wanda. Somebody said they had a trunk.
So somebody lived here after them. So he, correct?
I'm sure they did. Yeah.
So you're picking up someone else's garbage.
Yeah, that's it.
He was just older than Leroy, but he always kept a slingshot. And he'd break up old piece of metal to shoot birds. Now, but darn if he didn't, he killed every bird right here, couldn't find the bird. That's Leonard. He
was pretty good with it then, wasn't he?
was good. Well, when we drive down that road, I don't know, I'm sure there'd be a place to turn around. That's where the schoolhouse stood, right down there. On the
Okay.
right.
All right.
25 years ago. Now there's a road right yonder, look like that's been where you were born down there. I don't know where we can turn around, but we're down there somewhere.
Okay. The building is right up there. Of course, it wasn't growing up like that, and I was born right there on the other side of that farm thicket.